everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laurelyn of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. Very happy to see you here today. Thank you all for your very wonderful comments, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing you every weekend and every Wednesday as well. Trust me, it makes my days, my whole week. Actually, the week go by really fast. Too fast sometimes. So what we're working on here is I had this pillow that was left over from a project that I had started and got the wrong size. You know, the clamshell one, that was actually a pretty good fun project. So anyways, I have to go get a smaller pillow for that one. So I have this big one. So anyways, my girlfriend, who's not too far from here, it was her birthday not too long ago, and I know they're gonna get a camper, so I thought, I didn't really get her anything for her birthday, so I thought I'd make something with something she's gonna recognize. So this fabric right here is actually one of the receiving blankets that she used for both of her sons as they were growing up, or sheet. I think maybe it was a sheet for the bed. Actually, I think that's what it was. So I chose to use that, and I really like the circles and the dots and stuff, and I know she would recognize it and have an emotional connection to it. And so I built a little camper out of it. And then it's just the medium weight interfacing. I've adhered it to the back side, drew out what I was looking for, and off I went. Everything has that little bit of interface on it, even the little rocks and the little wood that I used for the little fireplace there. So, and of course, I try to give it a little bit of depth and dimension by putting a little bit of a color back here to kind of give it so that it looks like it's a camper. And I will stitch via machine the tail hitch here with the little bobble on the top or whatever. And then we'll do a little bit more of some fun attachments. I've got some trees, and I got a little polka dot bikini that we can hang up on a little clothesline, and a little bit more wood. And then we'll put a couple of stumps beside the trees and stuff like that. We'll work on that a little bit. So I tried to do a little mountain scene so they'd be out in the wilderness and having fun. So we're pretty much just going to applique it all down. I did a little, I have all this leftover bits from my batting. It's from Warm and Natural, and it's all this bunch of paper that tells you how to care for it and how many stitches per inch sort of thing that you need to adhere it, like to keep it down intact. Anyways, to me it's called free art paper. So I kind of sketch out my little idea, what I want, and then just go from there. I'm not the best artist in the whole wide world, but I sure like to have some fun, but in the end it all looks good, doesn't it? To me it does. And I had a lot of fun. So I mean, you could choose coordinating threads to go around, like I could choose light blue and dark blue and what have you, but I've just kind of chosen neutral gray, silvery gray, kind of tying it all together because I've kind of chose a striped background, but I just wanted to be kind of like a little daylight scene. So we're going to stitch down this door, and then for the window I kind of put a little awning over top of it just to kind of, you know, give it a little bit of dimension to it. So I'll stitch down the window first. So let's put a little pin in there, and they'll stitch out the outer side, the wheel, or I was calling the wheel rim, to the tire. We'll stitch that down as well and leave these two off to the side. Okay, so we'll do these three right now. And I just have a zigzag stitch, and I put it really close together, like we're talking 0.60, and then for the stitch width I go about 3.2, something like that. Okay, and make sure if your machine's a little bit different, you make sure you have the proper foot to do zigzag, because it's going to go boop 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 boop, back forth like crazy. Okay, let me just get a little comfy in my chair. All my stuff's moved around because I've had a sewing student here all week, and it was so fantastic and amazing. He was just a fantastic young man and very bright, and I totally enjoyed his company. In fact, the week went by way too fast. So I've had to shift machines, move here and chairs there. It's a little bit of a musical chairs thing going on. Okay, so just line it up right at the bottom. You can start either in the center, wherever it's going to make you feel comfortable, to make your way all the way around and come back and back stitch over a little bit, just a smidgies over each other in whatever that position. And don't forget, you can add your door handle via a little tiny button, and same for the inside of the wheel. I thought maybe a little tiny button would be good to kind of make a wheel rim or something. I don't know, be creative. You got lots of stuff in your little shop. You got rickracs and ribbons and all sorts of fun stuff that you could use to accent this. I'm going to use a little bit of floss, like as a little bit of a, little floss to make the clothesline to go from attached to the trailer to the tree. And then we'll attach all their little swimsuits out on it. Now, whenever you have to stop or move, this is a nice curve, so I can just kind of go with the flow. But whenever you have to stop or move, or shift or pivot or anything like that, make sure you're stopping on the outside of your project. On the outside edge here, and then pivoting and turning and then starting again. Now at this point is a fantastic time. If you wanted to give this a little bit more dimension, you can just shove a little bit of batting in there and that would make that door pop right out really cool. So I think, I don't know, what do you think we should do? Should we stuff it? Do I have any stuffing here? If I had any stuffing about it, I might have. It's okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. So we'll just seal it off. And you can add all sorts of accent little things like a fishing rod, a fishing pole, a bench, picnic basket, coolers, chairs. I mean, you can go all out crazy. That's completely up to you. And of course, you can use, if you have some funny fancy stitches on your machine that maybe possibly looks like a door handle or whatever, you can pop one of those down on. Okay, so that's the door. Check it out. Pretty cool, eh? I like it. Look, okay, Ben. More like glamping, isn't it? All right, let's line her up, zigzag around. And just to kind of stabilize the whole piece of background fabric that I'm working on, I just used a bit of extra bit of, I found in the remnant bin at the fabric stores. I can't remember which one it was, but it was only 50 cents and it was some dark interfacing, but it was just sewing interfacing. So I just did a couple of nice straight lines from top to bottom, kind of following the little pinstripe, kind of what's on this blue fabric, just to kind of stabilize it. As you'll see, that's there. Just because I knew we were going to do lots of flipping and flopping and sewing here and sewing there, I don't want it to pucker in. You want to give it a nice stabilization so it's not going to do anything crazy on you. Okay. Oops, losing my bikini. Uh-oh, hopefully I'm not losing bits. Oh, I have lost lots of bits. Uh-oh, uh-oh, un momento. Oh, I lost another bikini top. Sorry. It's all this, I didn't have it far enough away. Okay, there's my little door handle. Oh, okay. All right, let's go to the window. And of course, because I'm going to put the awning on, I can start and stop my stitches at the top here. Nobody's going to see it. So I don't want to do that at the bottom where you may see the crossover, right? So you want to do it right up at the top. And then when you put the awning, you're not going to even see those stitches, so, right? Okay, so you stop it on the outside of the project. Hopefully everyone's having a good Saturday so far. Like I said, the week has just like flown by with my little sewing student here. We're having so much fun. And of course you can use your zigzag stitch to make the cross points where a screen would go in or something, or you can just leave the window just the way it is, nice and white. I mean, or you can put your little, stitch across here and stitch across there, like we were trying to give it a little bit of dimension. So I think we'll do that. We'll get that going here. Do a nice, try and straight line. And just kind of let the machine do itself. You're just kind of helping guide it. You don't want to shove it. You don't want to hinder it by holding it back. Just going to let it do its thing. And if you don't like what it did, you can always use this very handy dandy tool that I use almost daily here in the shop. It's okay. It helps fix my boo-boos. I'd rather have something fix my boo-boos than having to deal with it and leave it there, so. All right, so I kind of gave that a little bit of window depth. And we'll put a little awning on. Okay, actually clear up some of those wackadoodle threads. We just line that up so it's either hanging over or not as hanging over as much as you like, so you can still see a little bit of the depth on that window there, okay? And then work your way around. I think I'll work my way this way. And because it's, you've already adhered it, I don't necessarily have to come down into these little roundy bits. I can just pretty much come all the way around here, and that gives it a little bit of 3D sort of depth, right? All right, trim up those. All right, there we go. Okay, check out that. That's what we did. We just put the door on, the window on, the awning on, and the wheel well. Okay, so let's put the tire. There we go. And of course we want to place it so the more of the black is actually like it's touching the ground, because that's actually the tire, right? So you just kind of get it where you want it. Give it a little bit of the gray rim all the way around. Pin it in place. And try and make sure you can kind of keep all the way around it without hitting it with your foot. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to take a look at it this way. I'm happy with it. Okay. For the rocks and for the wood, I just did a nice straight stitch around just to tack it down. Like I said, this is not really going to go anywhere. It's just going to be a pillow that's going to be tossed on their camper when they get it. They were talking about getting a pop-up tent one, but I thought this was kind of cute too, so just in case. I was going to put their family name maybe across the door here in a little curve or something. I don't know. We'll see. See how much time I have. Just trying to keep the center of the black to the tire and the background right in the center of my needle, right where that little gap is. I'm trying to keep those two fabrics, trying to meet visually in my mind right in between those two pieces. And that's keeping me a little bit on track. All right. All right, okay, now let's add a little, well, we know what our little picture is going to look like, so we can move that off to the side. Okay, so we have a couple of trees. And of course, what I was thinking about doing is once I had like, there's of course my little funky pine tree, or spruce tree, whatever you want to call it. And of course, like my green tree top. I was going to do like, the trunk of the tree via the zigzag stitch, so that kind of gave it some dimension, and then the tree's going to sit the top of the tree like there, and then we're just kind of making the trunk with the zigzag stitch instead of trying to add another piece, right? So actually we'll put this tree up here, and we'll put that tree up there, and we'll put this one there. I don't know. I got a few. Here, maybe put the little guy over here and the big guy over there. And I don't even know what that is. I don't even think I'm going to use it. I don't even whatever. I'm looking at it going, what? Was I thinking of a tiny little like cedar? I don't know. Maybe I'll put that maybe I should have put that behind the little camper. That's okay. Maybe it'll hide back over here. There. And then a couple other just, you know, I do a little trunk with the tree and whatever. I mean, I don't have to use all the pieces. They're just there to kind of give me a bit of a guideline. And I want to make sure I've got my little bikinis and bathing suits for them. So we'll try and do the tree that I want to attach to them from here to the tree, and then have their little stuff hanging off, right? Okay, that makes sense. Of course, I had to go and find polka dot fabric for a polka dot bikini. I'm like, I know I got some around here somewhere. I had a feeling make her laugh. Okay, so we'll put it up just a bit. So if we hang the little rope, and we just like that. And of course the rope could be my stitches, it can be some floss stitch, you can use some, you know, your fancy embroidery stitches that you have, you know, whatever. You can do lots of things. You could even just put a little string. All right, so let's stitch that down. Yeah, it's going to take a process. I worked a bit on it already to try and get a bit ahead of the game, because I'm sure people got things to do on a Saturday, so they don't want to sit and watch me for like 17 hours. I'm kidding. It's a sewing marathon. How long can she sew? Okay, stop on the outside, foot up. I'm gonna move my needle because I don't really need that anymore, the pin, sorry. I like driving a little race car. Meow, meow. Crazy driving around the corners. All right, perfect. Okay, we'll cut that. All right, now to build the trunk, just wing it. I either draw a line of chalk, or you know how trees go. I mean, just kind of come down a little both sides. I don't know. I don't think of it as being that complicated. I just kind of wing it and go, all right, does that look good? If not, pick it out, right? Just kind of come down a little bit, put a little bit of a curve, give it something that's gonna like attach to on the ground sort of thing. You know, just a little like that. Sounds good to me. Okay. And then do a little bit one on the other side to kind of give it a little bit of depth. You can use part of your foot as a guideline. So if you want to, you know, keep it nice and straight, then you start at the top, make it like a little foot's width. That would be like 1/4 of an inch right here between that little metal and plastic and then the center of the foot. Start off like that. And of course, as you get it closer to the bottom, you kind of come out a little bit, and then a little bit more. And then as you come to that one point, you kind of do your little curve again, and then back. And we'll see how that turned out. Like I said, if you don't like it, you can just take it out. What do you think of that? I think that looks okay. Now, if you want, you can stick some stitches in between and fill her up. I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is, just for, you know, I don't want it to overpower anything. Now, to make your line, like you can either put your little stuff down first and then just draw your line, or you can like chalk it out and then use your floss to do it afterwards. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use one of my erasable pens. Disappearing ink, okay. And give me a visual line of where I want to hang those clothes, okay? Because I know they're going to hang off here somewhere from here. And they're going to go in a little bit of a curve to that tree, okay? Now I can take my suits and we'll put it with Daddy's. And then we'll put Mommy's, and Little Man's, and other Little Man's. Of course, then got to have Mommy's top right there. And of course, you're going to zigzag these down And then you're going to add your little extra little stitches either by needle and thread, floss or whatever to look like they're actually either paper clipped, clothespin, sorry, I had to think of it for a second, pardon me, clothespin up or even just tied, you know, like tied with string or something like that. All right, so we'll pop in a couple of little pins to hold these. We'll move Mommy's over just a little bit. I hope she likes it. It was making me giggle, so I was having some fun. Okay. I think I'll have to put 2 pins for that one. And of course, be careful as you're stitching down not to poke yourself. Okay. I guess I could just probably sew the 2 and come back for the other 2, but you know, I'm a rebel, so let's, you know, live dangerously. Okay, put little man's over there. There we go. And I know her eldest son loves purple, so of course I put his pants as purple, you know, because, you know, gotta, right? All right, so we'll work our way either from one side to the next, whatever you like. But here, I'll show you just before I go and sew it down. Isn't that kind of cute? Yeah, why not? Be creative. You can have it as a beach scene, have it as a mountain scene, have it as, you know, backyard scene. You can have just a little tent, you know. Now, don't forget to stop and pivot when it comes to those points and stopping on the outside. Even if you just have to go 1 or 2 more stitches. Let's bring this over here. I feel like the long arm of the law or something, reaching for that. All right. Move this needle head up. One more. Oops. Sorry if it's getting in the way of the other camera. Just lots of flipping and flopping going on. Yeah, we want to make sure you're really coming right up into that point. Or you could have just stitched these down at the top and they would have been look like they were like flying in the breeze or something like that, drying. I mean, it's totally up to you. You can be so creative with just a basic idea of thinking, oh, I'll make a little camper with some scenic background. So. Put that back up better. There we go. That's 1. Okay, work on the other little dudes. Come here. See, my disappearing pin has already disappeared. So I wanted just a guideline anyways, kind of keep them in a straight line. Hold on. I thought it was so. I think I feel like a needle head issue here. Sorry, bad habit. Shouldn't get into that. Don't put pins in your mouth. It wasn't quite lined up where I ended, so I'm coming back just a smidge to line up at the top of those pants. And it's always you gotta be really precise with this tiny stuff, right? May even want to decrease your zigzag stitch a little bit as well, if you wanted to, if it was taking up too much of trying to get around. Because you want, of course, it's just a tiny little cut to give like the separation of the legs on the shorts, right? So make sure you can still kind of get that and it still looks like shorts. Instead of, what was that blob you tried to zigzag? We can't tell what that is. Okay, all right. These ones definitely having to adjust a little bit more on to cover. There we go. We'll trim up all those threads afterwards. All right, now I had to unpin Mom's trunks. So I think it's sitting there. I can always tie it up with a string. Let's move these out of the way. I'll start at the top. Probably should dim a little bigger. I don't know. Tiny applique pieces. That'll be the the name of the video. No, kidding. I don't know what we're gonna call it. That's usually Pop says to me later on as he's uploading it and processing. So what are we calling this? I go, I don't know. What you want to call it? That's why most times I try and think up of a name of what we're doing before we get there. I guess we just call this camping pillow. One more. Probably should have put my old lady specs on too. There we go. Okay. See how that's coming along? Look cute. So cute. Right. Let's do Dad's pants or shorts. Line that up just a bit better. There we go. And these, of course, just all scrappy bits you pull from your pile. You know, it doesn't take much to add a little fun and, you know, creativity. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who has subscribed to our channel. We really do appreciate it. We love doing what we do, and we have a lot of fun, and hope, you know, you're learning in the process, or at least having some fun along with us. So we appreciate your comments and your suggestions and everything else. It's very lovely. All right, just a tiny, let's do one at a time here. I want to try and keep them together because I want it to look like it was one piece at the top, right? Like I want to keep those two little pieces as best I can touching. Okay. And I don't want to hit the needle with the other one, so I'm just going to pull it out just a smidge. Come right up to the corner. Yep. And then turn. And back. Okay, now where did that... Did I put it away? I hope I did. Just going to try and poke that little corner in just a little bit as I'm coming close. Just to stabilize it in that same direction. And then I think I'm going to come up on the other side to tack down the other one as well, and then finish it off under the bottom, and then that makes it look like a one whole piece, like an attached piece together. I think that would be a smarter choice. Way up to top. Back down to the edge and across the bottom. Awesome. What you think? Isn't that cute? Like I said, we put the little line up and tie little things. Cool. All right. Now, like I say, you could trim all your threads up afterwards. I wouldn't worry about it until after the fact. I'm gonna pop your other trees in, and I'm just gonna finish this up and decorating it. I got a couple more little pieces of wood that I've got going on here to make like a little stack, you know, of firewood for obviously the fire. But, you know, it's just gonna kind of go like that and do another little. Tack it down with just like a little straight stitch, because that's all that's on there is just a nice little straight stitch around. Put a button here, a button there, and I think their little name. I'll probably try and maybe just put the B. Put a big B or something like that for them, or on the side here or whatever. But I hope she likes it. I hope she's she treasures it forever, and it goes with them wherever they go for camping. That's for sure. It's a nice big pillow, so why not, right? So I hope you enjoyed this weekend's project, and check out the picture, and hopefully by the end I'll have at least a better layout of what's going on. Don't overdo it though. Don't over clutter it, right? So just give it enough. Just give it enough for that they're having some fun. They're off in the wilderness, or they're all sleeping. Who knows? All right, take care, everybody. Don't forget to check out Long Arm Wednesday, where I think we might just quilt up this little panel here. It's actually been inquired about a couple of times. I got the panel at Lens Mills in Guelph, Ontario, and it was only about $7 or $8 or something like that. It was really cute. I thought it'd be a great little piece to stitch up, practice, have some fun, following, you know, just learning, as well as just getting, you know, used to, I don't know, just having some fun, really. So it's got a couple little lines I may border out, chop it up and border it out a few pieces, but we'll be doing this. Yeah, we'll be working on that. Okay, so thanks everybody, and have a fantastic weekend. I was happy to see you. Take care. Bye-bye.